Okay, Manny. Who are we probing today? Oh, come on, Manny. You said I could probe somebody.
Hey, this is UFO Report number 53, and I am Manny Moonraker. And I'm here with you today, Thursday, to talk about some UFO news. So right off, I want to say one thing, and I keep mentioning this like every other episode, that people still have issues with the whole Stan Romanek deal. I don't know what it is. I did get a message recently that I might have missed something about a particular officer investigator involved in a case that had previous charges against him, allegations of planting evidence. And the truth is that I didn't miss it. It was actually in every single article that I linked into every single episode that I did regarding Stan Romanek. I just don't feel that this particular person's shady past should have any relevance to what was found on Stan Romanek, only because no one in the Romanek camp ever said that that thumb drive did not belong to them. Had someone made that claim, and again, I've looked through all kinds of articles, I didn't see that claim anywhere. Had someone said that that thumb drive was not theirs to begin with, then I could see that maybe this guy decided he needed something to stick, so he threw in, a stick drive with a bunch of his own personal kiddie porn. But that's not the case. So just because there's a tainted cop on the beat who just happens to end up on this case, it's not enough for me to say that everything that Stan Romanek is about is true, it's good, and it's wonderful. I don't believe his ufology stuff, and I don't believe his claims that he was not aware that that stuff was on his computer. Plain and simple. But like I said, him and his team has an opportunity, of course, to have this heard again in a retrial, I'm sure. And when that happens, hopefully, they'll pull themselves up by their big girl panties and come with it. Otherwise, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Alright, on to the first news article. It is coming from all over the United States. Well, at least along the 37th parallel. Apparently, this brother and sister team of UFO investigators, and I think they're more like paranormal investigators, but they say that they have discovered the UFO highway, and it pretty much straddles the 37th parallel across the U.S. Chuck Zukowski and Debbie Ziegelmeyer apparently has spent plenty of years traveling across the U.S. investigating UFOs and other paranormal sightings, including Bigfoot if you feel a little furry. And apparently in their investigations, because they live in different states, it turns out they found some similarities initially in some cattle mutilations that they came across. And one day Chuck Zukowski, called up his sister and said, "Hey, didn't you have a bunch of cattle mutilations along the 37th parallel?" And there began their theory. So this fateful moment happened back in 2006, and they were able to trace back a lot of the incidents that they were investigating to the 37th latitude, and the actual 37th latitude runs through California, Nevada, Colorado, Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Kentucky, and across Virginia. Well, I didn't check on this. This is what the article says. So I just paused the show just to look at the 37th parallel, and holy testicle Thursdays, this thing even runs through Arizona. And if you guys have been listening to me for a while, I've been saying Arizona may hold the key to everything UFO. And there you go. So is there something to their theory that that 37th parallel has some hot business relating to UFO? Now, if that bit of news doesn't, pique your interest about the 37th parallel enough, you might be interested in knowing that Area 51 in Nevada and the Dulce base, the alleged underground alien base, is also located along the 37th parallel. Is this just a coinkydink? Is there something to this 37th parallel? Now, other things that this dynamic duo has been investigating is, of course, Bigfoot and other paranormal incidents. And listen, there's got to be something to this. Now, there was a book published regarding their theory, and apparently in the next few months, it is very possible that a film will start production regarding some of the things that they investigated along the 37th parallel. I don't know about you, but this really sounds like something that needs to be looked into a little more, because you know what's going to happen. Their stuff is going to get to Hollywood, it's going to get chopped up, and you're basically going to have to go to the book and find out what the real deal is. So it's an interesting article. You can check it out. It is on the Fox News website. The link is in the description, so if you want to go in there and give it a read, it has a bit more information regarding some of the things that they saw and examples of famous UFO incidents that actually occurred along the 37th parallel. One of them being the Aztec, Nevada incident of 1948, where a flying saucer allegedly crashed. So, I don't know about you guys, but I think maybe they did find the UFO superhighway. The question is, what the hell do we do with this now?
Hey, this is Jerome, and from planet Earth, you're listening to the UFO Buster radio show right here.
Hey, if you get a chance, check out ufobusterradio.com. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and join the conversation at UBR Truth Seekers Facebook group. Get in there, chat it up, meet some of the folks that you listened to on the previous episodes, kind of like Jeff, Billy, Ronnie. It almost sounds like I'm talking about Boys to Men or something like that. Anyway, stay in touch, talk to us, hang out, be there or be square. The next article I got, it's regarding these crazy signals that people keep picking up in space. And we've seen this year has come up a few times. And these are the fast radio bursts that people are saying that their rate and frequency appears to be an alien signal, a message, someone's trying to tell us something here and there. But the problem is that it's hard to track. The most recent one had to do with FRB 121102. That one was from a galaxy about 3 billion light years away, and several bursts apparently have been detected from that particular galaxy, and they've been able to do some studies on it. The studies actually are leading to, of course, more questions. The first thing is that in studying these bursts from that particular region, they've come to the conclusion that the signals are probably a lot more frequent than anyone imagined. The issue is that they only last a millisecond. So there's no way to, number one, predict where they're going. And many times you can't really tell where they're coming from because they're so damn fast. They're saying, though, that they've measured some of these fast radio bursts, or FRBs. And these FRBs, in that millisecond, produce as much energy in that amount of time as our sun produces in 10,000 years. Which kind of makes sense, because if it's really traveling across the universe, it's got to need a lot of power. So a research study was carried out at the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics, or CFA. And they found, of course, like I just said, that these FRBs are happening consistently and pretty random. One of the lead researchers said if they are correct in their assumptions about the FRBs, that pretty much at any given time, if you were able to see an FRB with the naked eye and you looked up to the sky, it would look like the flashes from, a bunch of paparazzi chasing down Justin Bieber. So some people are still claiming that this is an attempt by extraterrestrial life to get our attention, and basically they're sending us smoke signals in the form of radio signals. For these things to be so random, listen, anything is possible. The truth is that we are sending up signals ourselves. We are listening for signals. What's to say that someone 10 billion light years away isn't sitting in their armchair thinking about ways to send signals out to the middle of nowhere, hoping that somebody answers? I don't think it's beyond the realm of possibility that that is happening, especially if you're an individual that believes that the universe is too flippin' large for there to be no one else in it. And all things being equal, can another civilization at the same maturity level as ours, it's doing the same damn thing somewhere else. Multiply that by about 1 trillion, and there's a shitload of people sending out signals to nowhere. So that might explain why everything is so erratic and unpredictable, because everyone's sitting around shooting off. So this article, I got the link in the description for this one also, and it's a lot longer, there's a lot more information on it. But there was another theory that was put up by someone who read it, and they decided to post their take on what was in the article. And I figure I would bring it because I like bringing those alternate viewpoints to the ufology ET topic, and I know you guys enjoy it, otherwise you'd shut this baby down. So the individual goes by the name of Bugsy Malone. Bugsy, the notorious Bugsy Malone, he says his theory is the following. Okay, let me tell you, he isn't in agreement with what the scientists are saying. He says, first of all, aliens will be very tiny, about the size of an ant. Secondly, they will use chemicals and light to communicate and will wear orange loincloths made of hair. They will be green in color and will speak using their noses to make different shapes, and that's my theory. That was a strategic pause because it is very possible that someone else out there shares this theory, and if you do, I found your long-lost brother. He's posting and goes by the name of Bugsy Malone. I've got the link in the description in case you want to reunite with Bugsy, and maybe you guys can publish a book together. Either way, I'm sure Bugsy was just poking fun of the whole thing because, what's one good rubber dicking to another, right? It's a sword fight. So that's all I have for you today. I thank you for coming on. We have a guest, which I need to confirm for Sunday. And we're going to talk about some crazy stuff, because that's the way you like it. This is Manny Moonraker, and I am signing out. But before I do, I want to thank you guys for listening. I want to thank you guys for sharing, subscribing, and keeping the conversation going, no matter how crazy it gets around here. Ciao.